where you can have some kind of practice, right, along with the lab session, because whatever we have discussed in the lectures or theoretical classes, we will be having uh, one or two lab sessions to conduct these queries, these concepts, right? So we will have different set of queries which will be implemented by you and naturally will be discussed by we will be discussing in particular lab, right? So that is there, discussion is planned, but parallelly you have to see the different set of questions, different set of quizzes actually on the SQL related concepts on the any internet source. There are various internet sources available where you can go and explore the concepts, explore the queries, possible queries available, right? Because SQL is something very important in the subject of database, and it is related and it is very important for your uh, placement point of view. It is very important in an examination point of view, which is of computer science, right? So let me share the notes first. Let me today share entire screen. Yes. Okay. So now I'm sharing the screen. Okay. So now, yeah. So this is something. Okay. I think it is visible to you now. To drag it up. Okay. So till the previous class, we have discussed starting from basic laws, then aggregate functions, substring, submatching, and like function, then Cartesian product. We have discussed what is the Cartesian product in a retrieval query. What is the effect of it, and what is the resultant table we will be getting. Then we have taken join operator, which is, and its type basically inner join, outer join, and semi join. Those semi join we have not discussed, but we have named it, right? After that, we have taken each and every type, like within inner, we have taken natural equi theta. Within outer join, we have taken left, right, and full outer join. Along with it, we have discussed the three different set operators, and in this, we have discussed concept of compatibility, right? Means whenever we are performing these three operations, union, intersection, and set difference, you need to see the compatibility between the two queries or two set of results between which we are trying to derive union, intersection, or set difference, right? So compatibility means the values should be of the same range, of the same domain, right? Then only you can perform these three operators, right? So these are the basic concepts which we have discussed. Now, today we are going to discuss three things. First thing is how to create table areas and why it is important. Then we will be discussing subquery, very important part, subquery or nested query. Then we will take one or two example of correlated queries. What are correlated query? How it is different from subquery, right? Subquery or nested query. And at last we will start discussing group by clause, right? Okay, so in the previous class we have discussed the join operator. Now how to apply join condition, how to apply this join condition, where to apply join condition, what is the effect of join condition, and what are the possible things which may occur when we apply join condition, right? So let's take this particular data instance, database instance. So suppose if there is this database with two tables, employee and department, right? And in each table basically there are some attributes, like in employee we have first name, salary, and department number. And I'm assuming then first name is a primary attribute for employee, and department number is a foreign key which is coming, or which is referencing from D number of department, right? That's what a typical schema defines. And we are assuming that there are some tuples stored out, right? So when we try to define a join condition or a join, right? So let's take this particular example. So let's assume something like this. Yeah. So we will be writing a typical query like select first name, SSN, salary, and D name, right? So if you can see carefully, these first three attributes are placed in employee table, right? Like first name, salary, department number, right? So we do not need to access the department table. But in a query, it is requested to have the employee first name, it's SSN, it's not SSN, let's remove it because it is not part of this schema. So first name, salary, so these both are kept in one table, but D name is kept in the different table here. It means you need to access the second table also, department, just for the sake of getting the D number and in the output, right? So for that purpose only we are accessing this second table department number. So agar aap itna use karenge, that's what we have discussed in the previous class. If we access this part only, it will create what? It will simply create a Cartesian product, right? And Cartesian product will not serve our purpose actually. It will have lot of repeated values. तो अगर आप इतना रन करेंगे तो ये तीनों कॉलम तो आ जाएंगे, ये तीनों एट्रीब्यूट्स तो आ जाएंगे, बट इट विल हैव मल्टीपल रिपीटेड occurrences of multiple values just because the Cartesian product creates some kind of cross product or basically combinations. Now to avoid this situation, we will simply use a condition or simply perform a join, right? So I'm assuming that with this way we can perform a join operation. So we can add a clause called where clause, and in where clause we can write a condition for join, right? So condition of join is typically what? Condition of join is nothing but it is a condition of equality between the common attribute between these two tables. So between employee and department, there is this attribute D number, right? So this D number is basically common between these two attributes, these two pair of tables. So it will be like where D number equals to D number, right? So this is typically referenced as a condition of join, right? So some student might ask that, sir, what is the type of join? That's which we are using here. So whenever we are using this kind of join, whenever we are adding this condition of join, it will become equi-join, right? Equi-join. So if we have mentioned this condition in where clause, the D number, so there is this condition by using the attributes which is common between these two tables, then this query is having equi-join, right? And if we have not used this, so if we use this part in the from clause, if we use like from employee, so if we use this from employee natural join department number, it will become what? It will become natural join. So उस केस में क्या होगा? You do not need to mention this where part. There is no need to use this where part. You do not need to mention this condition of join explicitly, because natural join or implicitly takes a call that there are some attributes which are common between these two tables, and you need to perform some kind of equality between these all pair of attributes. So natural join में हमने क्या discuss किया था? Whenever there is a natural join between these two tables, a pair of tables, all the common attributes will be compared. तो यहाँ पर तो D number ही है, अगर कोई एक और attribute होता दोनों में जो common होता, उनमें भी equality perform होती, right? So this is how we can write a natural join. And if you're not writing a natural join in a from clause, you need to write a explicit condition of equality in the where clause, right? So I hope this is clear. Now let's see how basically and what is the possible output of this query. So अगर मैं इसको ऐसे ही रन करूंगा तो एक प्रॉब्लम आएगी, एक एरर होगी. वो रीजन ये है, और वो पॉसिबिलिटी ऑब्वियस है बहुत ज्यादा कि इफ वी राइट दिस वे D number equals to D number, तो लॉजिकली तो आपको ऐसे ही लिखना है, but because we are having same attribute names here in the where clause, it is like D number equals to D number. So it is obviously not clear the D number, this D number is referencing to which table, or this D number is referring to which database table. So that is the reason. So a possible error will be ambiguity of attributes, right? So this is one, but logically this is how we are writing. So अगर हम इसको rename कर दें या कि दूसरा नाम attribute को दे दें इसको या इसको, so this error will be removed because other things are okay and perfectly fine, right? So let's go with this same concept and see the next query, next possible query. So next possible query is like this. So again, we are trying to perform a similar kind of query, which is like select D number and D name. So let me rewrite it, D number and D name from employee department where D number equals to D number. So now these are, so again we will have same problem. Now this problem of ambiguity on attributes will be occurring on 2 times. यहाँ पर भी वही सेम एट्रीब्यूट आप कंफ्यूजन है कि किस टेबल का है, और यहाँ पर भी सेलेक्ट क्लॉज में भी प्रॉब्लम है कि दिस डी नंबर इज बेसिकली रिफरेंसिंग और बिलोंगिंग टू विच टेबल और विच डेटाबेस टेबल, क्योंकि एम्प्लॉय में भी डी नंबर है और यहाँ पर भी. सो वी विल हैव 2 places of this ambiguity. So again this same query will be having some kind of errors, because of ambiguity of errors. Now let's see the possible solution, right? And this is referred as a aliasing concept of aliasing, table aliasing. So the solution is what? So solution is basically is the renaming. So instead of renaming each time instances of attributes, we can do one thing. We can simply create renaming or aliasing the database tables. Now what we have done, we have created alias of each table. You can see the from clause. So in from clause we have created alias of each database table. So here we have seen employee is now called as a E. So whenever we will be we will need to access employee table, we will need to mention the reference that this attribute belongs to employee. We will be using E dot, right? So for employee we have created alias E, and for department we have created alias D, right? So now whenever we want to reference some attribute with its table, we can use this alias. So what we have done in the from clause, you can see we have mentioned E dot D number and D dot D number. So now these two attributes are clear that from which database table they are relating or referencing, right? So this D number is referenced or related to EE means employee. This D number is referencing to department, which is D, right? So from here it is basically clarified. It is confirmed that which attribute is referencing to which attribute, right? Now let me go through again. Okay. Now if you see in this select clause also, you can clearly see that select E dot first name, E dot salary, and D dot D name. So everything is now clear. There will be no ambiguity, right? It is obvious that from which table or the instance of first name should be picked from the employee, and instance of salary picked from employee, and instance of D name should be picked from department, right? So it is clear now. So this is how aliasing will help you. So a simple aliasing will solve you a very complex scenario also. Let's take another query. Yeah, let me drag it. Okay, now you can see in this table, in this query, let me separate partially. Yeah, so let's focus on this last query. Okay, so can you tell me what is the possible outcome of this query? So so we are taking this query by assuming the employee table of the database, company database. So let me show you first the company database. I think it is visible, right? So here you can see this is the instance of company database. I hope it is visible. Okay, we are losing some values. Okay, so here you can see here we have first name, middle name, last name, SSN, birth date, address, gender, salary, supervision, D number. So for this query, yes, so I think nothing much is important from that table. So you can see here we have created required select employee first name, employee last name. So query is requesting only details of first name and last name as output, right? And we have taken employee E. So we have created employee as E, and again we have created employee F. So we have created 2 instances of employee, right? We have created 2 instances of employee. And if you see in the where condition, in the where clause, we have condition like E dot SSN equals to F dot super SSN. And there is another condition which is E dot gender equals to F dot gender, right? So now, can you tell me what is the possible output? Can you tell me? Yeah. So I'm waiting for your response. I have just shared the content again. So can you tell me the possible outcome? I'm posting this query to your chat box also, and see what is the possible output. Yeah, tell me. So just take 10 to 5 minutes, 5 seconds, and respond this query. Yes. So make it quick because we need to discuss other things also. Yeah. So I'm waiting for a response. So see the query and try to solve, try to respond it. So in this query, we have created 2 instances of employee, and that's one part. Okay, creating instance is having some purpose, and in where clause we have defined 2 conditions. First condition says e dot ssn equals to f dot super ssn, and second condition is e dot gender equals to f dot gender. Right. So this second condition is very clear. It says that the gender of someone. So basically, जो भी tuple select होंगे, we are comparing the gender of 2 columns. क्योंकि एम्प्लॉय के 2 हमने इंस्टेंस बना लिए, तो इधर भी एम्प्लॉय टेबल, इधर भी एम्प्लॉय टेबल है. नाउ जेंडर टू जेंडर कंपेयर कर रहे हैं, तो इट मींस वी आर लुकिंग फॉर द टपल्स वेयर जेंडर वैल्यू ऑफ द सेम. सो द ऑफ द सेम जेंडर जो आउटपुट होगा आपका, जो आउटपुट टपल सेलेक्ट होंगे at least with of this condition, due to this condition, तो उन टपल्स में जेंडर सेम होगा, राइट, ऑफ द सेम जेंडर. नाउ व्हाट सेकंड कंडीशन सेज, व्हाट फर्स्ट कंडीशन सेज, e dot ssn equals to f dot super ssn. It means we are trying to compare a relationship between employee and supervisor. So now can you tell me what is the possible output? Anyone? Argadeep, can you respond to this? First name, last name of supervisors. No, it's not like that. Aditya says supervisors. No, it's not like that. Yeah, Nikita says right. Supervisors and employee having the same gender. So it will list out simply. It will list out. So now it is very important to see. If you see in the select clause, if you see, we have named as a e dot first name dot and e dot last name. So in this query, we have created 2 instances of employee. One is e, another is f, right? And in where clause, if you see, we have mentioned as e dot ssn equals to f dot super ssn. It means first instance of employee, which is e, it is acting as employee. So this first instance of employee table is acting as employee. The second instance of employee, which is f, is acting as a supervisor. तो अगर आप again select clause में जाएंगे, तो it shows e dot first name and e dot last name. It means now we are getting the list of employees because it is coming from e dot. So we are getting list of employees whose gender is same as their supervisor's gender, right? We are getting the list of employees. We are getting the last name and first name of all the employees whose employee of his same gender, right? So जिस भी employee के supervisors का gender same है उस employee से, उन employees का नाम दे रहा है केवल employee. That's simple, right? So this is how. So this query is possible, or we have written is in a very simplest way because of aliasing which we are using, right? Aliases which we are using. So ये queries आप अपने पास रखेंगे, आप note share करेंगे, and you will be executing this query as it is in the database which you have created, and you can see what is the possible outcome. Similarly, you can experiment with this same query. You can write in place of e, you can write f and see what is the possible outcome, right? So there it will show the different tuples, right? तो हम बाद में देखेंगे और बाद में आप कर सकते हैं. Now, so these are the possible usage of aliasing. So aliasing will have naturally other uses also, because we will be discussing other concepts like correlated queries, subqueries, nested queries. So there also this aliasing thing, aliasing concept will have the implication, right? So with this, now we are moving towards a new concept which is called subquery. Now, so subquery, why subquery is important, where we need to write subquery. So let's take one simple query which we have discussed in the I think previous lecture, on the day when we have started discussing aggregate functions, right? So now you can see, so let me raise this query. So suppose you are trying to retrieve the employee name and SSN whose salary is higher than the minimum salary of the company. ये क्वेरी हम सिनेरियो में डिस्कस किया था कि अगर आपको ऐसे एम्प्लॉइज की लिस्ट को रिट्रीव करना है जिनकी सैलरी कंपनी की मिनिमम सैलरी से सबसे ज्यादा है बेसिकली. सो एनी एम्प्लॉय हु इज गेटिंग सैलरी हायर देन द मिनिमम सैलरी. सो अगर कंपनी में 100 एम्प्लॉय हैं तो जिसकी सबसे कम सैलरी है, या कि कई लोगों की हो सकती है, तो ऐसे लोगों को बेसिकली बेस मान के यू नीड टू रिट्रीव द ऑल अदर एम्प्लॉइज हु आर गेटिंग हायर देन दैट. सो वन वे ऑफ राइटिंग दिस क्वेरी इज दिस, right? This is how usually students write a query. जब उनको आइडिया ये नहीं होता कि you cannot write aggregate function on the where clause. That's what we have discussed in the day जब हमने aggregate function discuss किया था. Or maybe we have repeated also that you cannot write or you cannot use aggregate function on the where clause. So you should be writing aggregate function only on select clause and having clause, जो हम अभी आगे डिस्कस करेंगे, right? So logically तो ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. दिख रहा है कि okay, select first name and SSN from employee, and in where condition, in where clause, you should be writing like salary should be higher than the minimum salary of the organization, because this min salary will give you the minimum value of the salary column. That's what we are logically assuming कि सर इससे हो जाना चाहिए. But it is not true. It will not accept or it will not work, right? इसका एक रीजन है, वो हम लास्ट में डिस्कस करेंगे. Because in the where condition we cannot call a function. In the where condition there should be 2 operands and 1 operator, right? But here you can see this min thing is already is an operator itself, because it is a function. So you cannot use in a where clause, you cannot use operator then function, right? In where clause you can have only operands and operator and operands, operand, operator, operands. That's it. We cannot have function or more than 1 operand, so more than 2 operands actually, right? तो वो आप split कर सकते हैं, but aggregate function will not work in the where clause. So this is because, so this query will raise an error because of inappropriate use of aggregate function. You cannot use aggregate function on the where clause, right? So what is the possible basically alternative for that? So let's have this new way of writing a query, right? So you can see carefully now. We have written a query in a nested way, or maybe subquery. So this is the first impression we can have for a basic query. So you can see we have written a select first name SSN from employee where salary should be higher than the select min salary from employee. Now, so this is something we can say is a subquery approach. This is something a nested query approach. Now you should be having this kind of logical understanding कि जब हम subquery या nested query लिखते हैं, so this subquery part will be executed first. Right? This is how basically logical things are written in any programming language, that innermost part will be executed first. So कई जगह books में ये भी लिखा होता है कि it is nested, or it is inner, or it is sub, right? So there are various terms they are using. So this part is basically, this part is referred as a nested part or inner part or a subquery part. right? So whenever this whole query will be executed, now पहले हमने क्या डिस्कस किया था, जब भी SQL क्वेरी होगी तो फ्रॉम क्लॉज से स्टार्ट होगी, फ्रॉम क्लॉज होगा, वेयर क्लॉज होगा, फिर डाउनवर्ड्स जाएगी till the having clause, then it will go back to the select clause last. But now if you see in this query, we have used or defined a nested query. Now if any SQL queries having nested or subquery, the subquery part will be executed first, and the result of subquery will be kept in a temporary storage or temporary operand, right? So you can see, so अगर ये inner part पहले execute होगा तो क्या होगा, there is this single value will be retrieve which is minimum value of the salary, min of salary. तो एक single value यहाँ पे आ गया आपके पास which is minimum salary. Now control of query processor will go to the from clause. Now it will go to from clause, and after that it will go to where clause. In where clause it will see that salary should be higher than that, more than this single value which we have derived through subquery. So now this whole query will be executed in a smoother way, right? Because we have pre-computed or derived this minimum salary value before executing the whole query. तो पहले inner query होगा, उससे single value derive होगा, उसके बाद outer query perform करेगा और इस single value से हर बार compare करेगा. So it will compare this salary value, salary more than this min salary value for each tuple, and these tuple from the employee table will be retrieved, right? So successfully we have written a query for retrieving the first name and SSN of employee who is getting the salary higher than of minimum salary, right? Now let's see the second query. So it is similar to that, but it is having some different kind of complications. So now you can see, yeah. So read this particular query, and we'll discuss the output. So in this query, we are trying to derive select project name and project location. So we are trying to derive the project name and project location from project where project number. So let's remove this, it's not required. Yeah. So where P number equals to, then inner query is getting you this select P number from works on, then where ESSN equals to this. Now, because in works on table, if you can see in works on table, we have given these columns like project number and ESSN, right? So अगर आप कंपनी डेटाबेस इंस्टेंस याद करते हैं तो उसमें एक चीज क्लियर है कि this ESSN number is nothing but is the employee SSN number who are working on the different projects, right? So this inner query will give you the project numbers. This inner query will give you the project numbers on which this employee is working, right? So this subquery will give you the project number 1 and 2. Project number 1 and 2. Project number 1 and 2. And if you have these two values, 1 and 2, so this inner query will generate these two values, 1 and 2. Now we are comparing this 1 and 2 value with the outer query. So in outer query, there is condition project number. So now we are comparing this project number value with 1 and 2, right? That's what the impression is. Now, if you see the output of this table, अगर आप इसको run करेंगे, तो it will not give you the project name and project location of both project number 1 and 2. Why? The reason is because of this comparison operator, right? So you should be looking at this comparison operator. Here we are using the equal to operator. You can see project number, right? So you cannot compare this project number attribute with two values, because eventually क्या हो रहा है कि आपके inner query में इस तरीके से हो रहा है, ये value derive कर दिया है, inner query ने आपको ये value दे दिए है, ठीक है, 1 and 2. Now you cannot compare these two values. This is what I am saying. In a where condition, you cannot have these. So now we have 3 operands. You can see 3 operands. This project number value जो आप use करेंगे अभी compare करने के लिए backend में, और ये एक प्रोजेक्ट नंबर वैल्यू, यहाँ की दो वैल्यूज कंपेयर हो रही है. वी आर हैविंग 3 ऑपरेंड्स in this condition, which is not supported, which is not okay or compatible in the equal to operator, right? So now only because of this thing, this query will not give you the correct result. It will select the this project name and project location, जो कि आपका आउटपुट में जरूरत है, only for first value, which is project number 1. जो इनर क्वेरी से आया है 1 and 2, उसके फर्स्ट के लिए तो चलेगा, फर्स्ट को सेलेक्ट कर देगा, बट प्रोजेक्ट नंबर 2 के बिहाफ में कोई भी वैल्यू जनरेट नहीं करेगा, राइट? So it is because of this equal to operator. So to resolve this, ideally, what is the thumb rule says? Thumb rule says whenever you are using, whenever you are writing a nested query, subquery, or correlated query, you should be using in operator, right? So instead of using equal to, you should be writing or using the in operator. Now the same query will be perfectly working. So we will be writing like this. So instead of equal to, we can write this in operator. So it will be like select ESSN from works on, like this. Okay, so this is second query actually. So so now we are using equal to, so that the problem with the previous query will be resolved now. So now can you tell me what is the possible output of this query? So let me post the same query in your chat box also. Yeah. So it is like select distinct employee SSN, because now we are getting from the same works on table, so we are writing as ESSN. So select distinct from your works on where P number in. So instead of using equal to, now we are using in, because inner query might have generated, or it might be generating more than one values, right? So अगर single value करती है तो in और equal to में कोई difference नहीं है, both will have the same output and it will not show any error. But if inner query is generating more than one outputs, so inner query is, in this case, inner query is generating project number, P number. So अगर एक से ज़्यादा आएगा तो in ही use करना आपको. So it is better to use, whenever we are writing a subquery, it is better to use in. So now if you can see, inner query generating project numbers, all the project numbers on which this employee is working, right? Now can you tell me what is the outcome? Yes, tell me. So let's take a few seconds to respond to this. Yeah, it is kind of loop query, so it is a distinct ESS working project number 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Yes. So it is getting closer to it. Is one of the simplest query. So now I'm going to discuss new other things like okay. So so let's see the second query also, which says yeah. So it is equivalent to the previous query. Actually, it is not a different query. So if you see this. Yeah, so sometimes it is easy to directly mention the possible outcome of inner query. So it is generating the same outcome as the previous query which I have posted, right? Now let's go to the next query and see. Okay, so yes, so though it is already visible to you, I'm posting this query in the chat box. Yes. Okay, ये थोड़ा सा weird है chat box में, so you can better to see in the classroom notes. So you can see we have defined a query like select distinct project numbers from project, where project number in select project number from project department employee. Now you can see, or you need to see carefully the condition in the where clause, right? So basically, these inner and outer part are simplest, but whenever we are dealing with multiple tables, like in the inner query, we are dealing with project, department, employee, right? So we are dealing with more than one employee, more than one tables. Now, whenever we are dealing with more than one table, you should be writing the condition of join carefully, right? So in the where clause, you can see we have written the condition for join between D number to D number. अभी हमने इंस्टेंस नहीं लिखा क्योंकि attribute names are different, so there is no need to write it. Okay, so d number equals to d number. So this is a joint condition between project and department. Right now you can see there is a condition called MGR SSN and SSN. This is a joint condition between department and employee. Right, and there is this last condition which is called last name equals to L Smith. So this condition is imposed on the employee table, right? So the possible outcome of this table will be the name of the project. That's what it is in the select clause. The name of the projects that involves an employee whose last name is Smith. It's obviously clear because we have written in an and condition as a Smith, as a manager of the department. Now this condition is coming from this condition as a manager is coming from this second condition, which is says MGR SSN equals to SSN, right? So this is a very simple query, simple nested query, simple subquery, but you need to place these conditions carefully in the innermost query, right? इसमें आप एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन भी कर सकते हैं कि आप इनर क्वेरी में केवल एम्प्लॉय टेबल लें, वहां से ऐसे एम्प्लॉयज का एसएसएन डिराइव कर लें जिनका एल नेम लास्ट नेम स्मिथ है, और ये जो कंडीशंस हैं दो डी नंबर और ये, इनको आप आउटर क्वेरी में प्लेस कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज अप टू यू, राइट, बट इट इज बेटर टू हैव द कॉम्प्लेक्स कंडीशंस in the inner query. It is always better to have these complex conditions in the inner query, right? So now let's go to the second query, which is related to this same query, and see what is the possible. Yes, so now let's read it. So name of the project numbers, wo same query hai, but we have added one more condition only. Name of the project numbers that involve an employee whose last name is Smith. यहां तक तो पुराना है. Now either as a worker or as a manager of the department that controls the project. So we have added one more set of results, set of employees. वो कह रहा है कि आपको ऐसे एम्प्लॉय का डिटेल डिराइव करना है या उनका प्रोजेक्ट नंबर निकालना है, राइट, जो एम्प्लॉय एज अ मैनेजर हो या कि एज अ वर्कर हो, बट उसका लास्ट नेम स्मिथ होना चाहिए, उनके प्रोजेक्ट नंबर को हमें डिराइव करना है, राइट. सो यू कैन सी, सो फर्स्ट पार्ट इज ओके. सो आई हैव रिटन इन वन वे, लाइक द प्रीवियस क्वेरी कैन बी यूज्ड as it is. You can see this way, right, and it is odd with this query, union with the query, right? So it is simply, you can see in the first query it is deriving all the project numbers where employee is working as a manager, right, his last name is Smith. This condition is important. That is one set of result. Now we have to see this person with last name as Smith as a worker also. So you can see this part is same. Now works on is used because we need to see the works as a worker also. So here we can see we are using project works on an employee. Here we are using project department employee, right, because in this instance we are looking for the person with last name as a Smith as a manager, and it is unioned with the same person with last name as a Smith but as a worker, as an employee. So it is using project works on employee, and here we are using condition at B number, so it is between project and works on. Now ESSN is SSN. This makes as a individual as a worker. So this union basically derives you the possible set of project numbers where this person with last name Smith working as a manager or as a worker. So this is how you can use union, right? This is how you can use union. So because we have these two subqueries with the same domain name, distinct project number, right? But only set of database tables are different, set of conditions are different, right? So this is one way of writing, right? That's one way. Or you can use this nested approach. You can derive the results in nested way and have this union approach, right? Right. So this is how you can use the subquery or maybe straight approach to derive the possible results with the simple conditions, right? Now let's go to the another form, which is called correlated queries. Now subquery is simple. It is having two queries. One is placed in the inner part, or maybe one query is placed to derive the partial result, and this partial result will be used to derive or to supply for the main query, which is called outer query. But there are some scenarios where keeping this subquery approach will not be sufficient to derive the exact set of tuples, right? So this correlated query is somehow equivalent to some kind of logical programming or some kind of for looping. Like in for loop, we used to run the inner part or maybe the logical part of the loop for each value of some defined value. Like for I equals to 1 to I equals to 10, for j equals to 1 to j equals to 10, something like that. So it is kind of two layering or two level of basically validation or comparison, right? So let's take one scenario for which we will try to understand that how this correlated query will help you out, right? So let's read this query. This query says you need to retrieve the list the name of employees whose salary is greater than the salary of all employee in department number 5, right? So you need to simply retrieve the employee first name and last name whose salary is higher than the salary of each employee who are working in the department number 5, right? So this is one way. That's what we see कि ऐसा हो सकता है कि इस query से भी काम हो जाए. तो इसमें क्या हो रहा है? Select last name first name, which is obvious. Now we see from employee. Okay. Now we are placing condition like salary greater than salary from employee where D number is equals to 5. Right. I am not sure whether this query will give you the output or not. जो हमें चाहिए, हमें क्या चाहिए? हमें ये चाहिए कि हमें ऐसे एम्प्लॉय का डिटेल निकालना है, फर्स्ट नेम लास्ट नेम, जिनकी सैलरी डिपार्टमेंट नंबर 5 में सभी एम्प्लॉयज जो भी काम कर रहे हैं उनकी सैलरी से ज्यादा हो, right? So this is one way, and we need to see what is the possible output of this query. But I'm sure this query will not fetch you the exact tuples, right? Now this will serve, naturally this will give you some output. You need to see what is the possible output. So let me post this query to you and see what is the possible response of you. So select last name first name from employee where salary is more than the salary of employees whose department number is 5. So you can try it right at your end. Parallelly, let me see what is the possible solution for it. Now if you write this way of query, so you can see select last name first name. Now we have done one thing from employee E. So we have simply defined areas for this employee instance E, where salary is more than, which is what the condition says. The select salary from employee instance F. Now we have added a condition. We have added a condition here where E dot salary more than F dot salary, right? So you can remove this simply because we have placed a condition like this. So you can see where E dot salary more than the F dot salary, and this condition is there, department number 5. So this is something which is essential, this condition. Now you can see carefully, we have called or we have used in the inner query. You can see in the inner query or in the subquery, we have used the instance of the table E. So E is actually, this E instance of employee is defined in the outer query here, somewhat here, but we have called it in within the space or within the range of this subquery. It means जब कंट्रोल आपका इनर क्वेरी में होगा, और कंडीशन में होगा ई डॉट सैलरी, तो हर एक टपल के लिए जो आउटर एम्प्लॉय टेबल का है, उसके हर एक टपल के लिए ई डॉट सैलरी कॉल होगा. अब हमारे पास दो टेबल्स हैं, ई एज एम्प्लॉय, एफ डॉट एम्प्लॉय. नाउ फॉर ईच टपल ऑफ एम्प्लॉय ई इन द कॉलम ई डॉट सैलरी will be compared with the f dot salary, right, and with d number is equals to 5. तो इसका क्या हो रहा है कि it is like having this for loop kind of arrangement, जिसमें outer employee जो टेबल है जिसको हम e से रेफर कर रहे हैं, उसका हर एक टपल वैल्यू in the salary column will be called and used in the inner query to get or to select particular tuple. और जो भी टपल इस कंडीशन को क्वालिफाई करेगा, उसी का टपल सेलेक्ट होगा. और आउटर क्वेरी में तो ऑटोमेटिकली हमें एम्प्लॉय ई का ही रेफरेंस या कि उसी का आउटकम चाहिए होगा, वही उसी का फर्स्ट नेम लास्ट नेम आएगा. ठीक है. सो दिस इज हाउ यू कैन राइट अ कोरिलेटेड क्वेरी. सो कोरिलेटिंग द ऑब्जेक्ट्स, सो बेसिकली बाय कॉलिंग द आउटर टेबल by its instance or alias, we can define a query like this, right? So this is how I think this is the one of the preferred way of writing a correlated query, right? So this will give you the possible result type. It will give the possible employee details, employee name or first name, last name, which will be having salary more than the each and every individual who is working on the department number 5. So this is one way. Now there is another shortcut which people often use it. So instead of writing anything, I mean, you do not need to write anything actually. You can simply use all. So all is a function which is defined to have this kind of queries. So whenever we want to compare one operand with all the possible operands one side, you can have this arrangement. Like here we are using all. So all means, so आपका सब क्वेरी जो भी देगा, सैलरी डिटेल देगा, 4-5 सैलरी वैल्यू देगा, और इन सब सैलरी वैल्यू से जो भी एक हायर वैल्यू ऑफ सैलरी होगी वो सिलेक्ट हो जाएगी. सो दिस इज one kind of shortcut way, right? So this is how you can write so correlated query, and this is something which is preferred. So all should be avoided. So we should be avoiding using all and other functions. Instead of writing this all function, it is better to go for this correlated way, right? Correlated queries. Now, so we have done with basically this two or important way of writing queries, nested subquery, nested way or subquery way, or maybe correlated queries. Now we are moving towards a different set of expressions, a different set of commands, which is called group by clause. Right. So, do you have any class after this? Yes or no? I hope it is not there. So, we need only 2 to 3 minutes to discuss this thing. So, anyone confirm? Devanshu, can you confirm that? Do we have any class? Do you have? No, it's okay. So let's take 5 minutes to finish this. Right. Okay, so we are now going to discuss this group by clause. So group by clause is particularly used in a specific scenario or a specific type of query, right? So you can read these possible queries which are visible to you, right? You can read it. So whenever we have queries like you need to give the number of male and female employee in the organization, you need to give the number of student placed in each company. So you need to take care of the words. Number of employee working on each project. Number of employee working on each department. Number of employees working on number of employees supervised by each manager. Yeah. Like this. Number of employees working on each project. This is, I think it is repeated. Yeah, it is repeated. So let's remove it. Number of male and female employee working in each department. Right. So what we have observed. So जब भी आपके पास ऐसी क्वेरी आएंगी तो उसमें एक बेसिक सा नेचर ये है कि जो भी आप कहना चाह रहे हैं. So let's say the first query which says number of male and female employee in the organization. So आपको पता है कि employee table में there is this column called gender, and in this column or maybe based on this column you can simply have the count. कि सर मुझे पता है कि इस gender column basis पे I can count on कि इतने लोगों में male है इतने लोग female है, right? Now it is very important to apply or write a query for that, right? So there is a simple approach, but you need to understand how this group by clause, how this group by function will actually work, right? So iska typical way ये रहेगा कि whenever we have identify attribute based on which you are trying to count the number of individual tuples or individual rows, तो उसमें बैकएंड में क्या होना है? बैकएंड में तो आपके पास डेटाबेस टेबल रहेगा, उसमें एट्रीब्यूट्स रहेंगे, एट्रीब्यूट की वैल्यू रेंज रहेगी, डोमेन रहेगी. नाउ व्हेनेवर वी आर अप्लाइंग ग्रुप बाय, so group by will be doing two tasks, two label, two sub tasks, two sub operations. First operation is basically group by clause. जिस भी आप attribute अप्लाई करेंगे, it will identify the distinct or unique values on that particular attribute. That is first task which group by will be doing. So it will simply identify the distinct of that column, distinct of that attribute. Next subtask is it will create the subtables. It will create the subtables based on these distinct value. Like in the case of first query, where we are seeing कि we need to count the employees based on their gender. तो अगर आप distinct of gender करेंगे तो उसमें आएगा male and female. Only two distinct value will be there. Distinct gender करेंगे तो it will have only male and female. Now you have to create, or maybe group by clause will be creating the subtables. One subtable जो आपके main table की imply की उसको दो tables में separate कर देगा. In one subtable all the female employee will be kept, and in the second subtable all the female employee will be kept. So we will have two subtable. One is for first value which is male, and second will be for female. Right? This is how group by will be acting in the background. Now after that you will be, whatever operation we will be doing, it will be apply on the these two. Now we have two subtables in the background actually, right? उसके बाद जो भी करेंगे तो वो दोनों different tables में लगेगा. Now let's see how we can write a simple query. Right? तो अगर आप इस तरीके से करते हैं कि select star from employee group by gender. So this is how we can write. So select clause, then from clause, then group by. Where is not required here. Where में condition हम ऐड करना तो हमें जरूरत नहीं है अभी. तो we can have write select star from employee group by. So query will be starting from here. So from employee, this will give you the employee table. And once this control reaches to group by clause, it will be looking for the column gender, attribute gender. उसमें distinct देखेगा, distinct of gender column देखेगा, उसमें male female रहेंगे. Then after that it will generate the two subtables or maybe three subtables. जो भी इसके domain values होंगी. For each domain value, distinct value, it will create distinct or separate subtables, right? तो इसका तो आउटपुट करेक्ट नहीं होगा, बट इट इज सिंपली अप्लाइंग सेलेक्ट स्टार. तो इसका आउटपुट इसलिए नहीं होगा क्योंकि हमने किसी लैब में किसी क्लास में कहा था कि इन SQL whenever you execute a query the output will be only one output table. और हम कह रहे हैं कि ग्रुप बाय दो टेबल क्रिएट कर देगा. तो अगर आप इसको रन करेंगे सेलेक्ट स्टार फ्रॉम एम्प्लॉय ग्रुप बाय जेंडर, इट विल गिव यू आउटपुट विद ओनली मेल एम्प्लॉइज और मे बी फर्स्ट सब टेबल देगा, वो सेकंड को देगा ही नहीं. ठीक है, तो इसको आपको करके देखना पड़ेगा बाद में कि क्या आउटपुट होगा इसका. ठीक है, उसके बाद हमें क्या देखना है, द करेक्ट वे. सो दिस इज द somehow correct way of writing it, because we want to count the number of male and female. So it will like select count star will give you the count value. So execution यहाँ start होगा from employee से, so it will give you the employee table. gender by group by gender will give you the two subtables in the background. So in the background now we have two subtables. ठीक है, अब हम क्या करेंगे, ग्रुप बाय के बाद सेलेक्ट क्लॉज में आएंगे, एंड सेलेक्ट क्लॉज में व्हाट वी आर रनिंग काउंट स्टार. सो नाउ दिस काउंट स्टार विल बी रन फॉर दीज टू टेबल्स सेपरेटली. काउंट स्टार ऑन फर्स्ट सब टेबल, काउंट स्टार ऑन सेकेंड सब टेबल. तो काउंट स्टार करने से क्या होगा कि आपके पास इस क्वेरी का आउटपुट क्या होगा कि एक टेबल आ जाएगा वन कॉलम का, लिखा हुआ काउंट स्टार, यहाँ लिखा हुआ काउंट 1 2, बट हमें नहीं पता चलेगा कि किस जेंडर का है, राइट. सो दिस विल नॉट बी क्लियर कि किस जेंडर कितना है. तो हम उसको क्या करेंगे, इसी क्वेरी को हम इसको बेटर तरीके से लिखेंगे. इसको लिखेंगे सेलेक्ट जेंडर. नाउ दैट्स व्हाट इज फॉर बेटर क्लैरिटी. नाउ सेलेक्ट जेंडर काउंट स्टार. नाउ वी हैव रीनेम्ड इट आल्सो काउंट स्टार एज नंबर ऑफ एम्प्लॉइज. को रीनेम कर दिया है बस यहाँ पर, फ्रॉम एम्प्लॉय ग्रुप बाय जेंडर, राइट. एंड दिस विल गिव यू दिस काइंड ऑफ आउटपुट. जेंडर आ जाएगा, number of employee आ जाएगा, because we have renamed it as a employee, female and male. This is how we can get a result. So for each scenario, you can see we have done with today's lecture actually. So for each query you can write, like for first we have taken here as a gender. So group by attribute is gender, right. Here we will have group by basically student group by attribute as a company name, right. Here we will have group by attribute as a project number हो सकता है, ठीक है. और यहाँ पर ग्रुप बाय एट्रीब्यूट हो सकता है डिपार्टमेंट, डी नंबर हो सकता है, यहाँ पर हो सकता है सुपर अंडरस्कोर एसएसएन, राइट. बट यहाँ पर अगर आप लास्ट सिनेरियो में देखो सुपर एसएसएन, अगर आप इस लास्ट सिनेरियो को देखो, वी आर ट्राइंग टू से नंबर ऑफ मेल एंड फीमेल एम्प्लॉइज वर्किंग इन ईच डिपार्टमेंट. अब आपको ईच डिपार्टमेंट वाला तो क्लियर कि नंबर ऑफ एम्प्लॉइज वर्किंग इन ईच डिपार्टमेंट, वो तो क्लियर है कि वहां पर क्या करना है, डिपार्टमेंट नंबर बेसिस पे आप ग्रुप बाय कर देंगे, फिर काउंट कर देंगे. बट अगर मुझे ये कहना है कि फॉर ईच डिपार्टमेंट यू हैव टू गिव मी द नंबर ऑफ मेल एंड फीमेल एम्प्लॉय, सो ये दिस यू नीड टू वेरीफाई कि कैसे होगा, राइट. सो आई होप थिंग्स आर क्लियर नाउ इट इज अपॉन अप टू योर इंटेंशन कि आप कितना प्रैक्टिस करें.